Ladies and gentlemen, your 2024 Waco champion, Gannon Buhr!
Adam with the zone, going standstill, coming in kind of hot. Wait, what was that?
Kind of hot on the stripe.
The ace.
Is that in the basket?
Yes, Adam Hammis with the ace.
Lemon's having to go with a little bit of a turnover. That's moving in pretty hot. Oh my gosh! Chris has just slammed in an eagle.
What?
And the fans love it. I'm sure your group mates are all pretty excited to be there and witness it again. Another minus 18 round.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Waco, Texas for round one, front nine coverage of the MPO feature card here at the 2025 Prodigy presents the Waco Annual Charity Open. BigBarri commentary, bringing you the action. Boom, baby. And we've got a pretty warm, windy weekend ahead of us.
Typical for Waco, but you know what Waco does do? Gives you a lot of memories. That intro from years past, you see a lot of great moments, and that's what this does. A lot of scoring doesn't get away from these guys. Really tight scores all the way through the tournament. That's what we're going to see. Hole one, par three, 291, right up the gut. You're going to have a right to left win, or maybe a left to right win, or maybe a tail win, maybe it's a head win. You don't know until you tee it off, but it's going to be windy and kind of like a little island hole. So you got to be sharp right out the gates.
The prevailing wind at Waco is yes. It seems like every year there's two rounds, one direction, and then the last round it switches 180 degrees.
Crazy right to left here. You can tell by the little powder moving from right to left. He's going to go with the two-piece McNug right down the guts and river.
I just talked to Gannon actually after the round. He said that he had never even practiced down the middle forehand, so that's just adapting to the wind situation.
Yeah. Leaves it short, and any putt today is going to be tough if you're outside of 4 feet.
This is going to be the guy to watch this week after coming out of the gates hot in Florida, winning his first Pro Tour event. And that one is saved, actually, from going out of bounds. That was an early release. I think he's actually pretty happy.
I can't imagine a harder shot right out the gates than a turnover backhand right here.
Mm-hmm.
Nose up a little bit and you're gone left. Turnover's just going to get packed. Zach Nash trying the turnover. Gets a stable disc over. Oh, goodness.
Drills it.
So good. Kept it low, driven with the Anheuser. That was the key to success right there.
It's going to be fun to watch Zach play today. And Luke Humphries' incredible performance last year was just one stroke away from tying Gannon Buhr. Actually, Gannon just was one stroke down going into the final hole. Took the bull by the horns with a big birdie on the golf course hole 18. Meanwhile, Luke took a 5 and it was a 2-stroke swing. See if he's able to put together a great performance this year. Starts off with a really good drive on hole 1.
Go sit. I mean, that's
aggressive bid.
Yep. Gannon from just outside the circle.
And we didn't see much of Gannon last week. We saw a nice little throw in on the second round from the bottom of the hill, but that's really all we got to see from him.
That's a nice little hit on the metal.
Oh, boy.
That thing was going to be 80.
And Ezra starts off with a bogey off the top. A surprising miss. That is something that was so solid last week. His putting really has always been known for making him from everywhere, but occasionally when the nerves start picking up, as they do with everyone, the putt doesn't go in as much.
Yeah, in these conditions, like, you're just going to miss putts.
It's just part of the game plan, honestly.
Part of it. You give yourself a lot of looks, you're just going to miss them. He'll make a bunch, but you know, not even a bad wind read, just a wind read where it just the gust kind of dies down a little bit is enough to make you miss by 4 or 5 feet.
And we got hole 2 here, par 4. Pretty open, pretty easy, unless there's a lot of headwind, in which case you can see a disc turn over into the Brazos River off to the right there. If you go all the way up to the top of the hill, the Waco Zoo is up there. It's a nice little place to take the family after you watch a good round of disc golf down here. But it's pretty much just keep a drive clean, pretty short approach shot. Just got to watch out for the OB that gets close to the pin on your second.
I said you could miss a putt by 4 or 5 feet just now. I meant inches.
I thought you were just being honest because I relate to that. Zach just went absolutely bomb mode on it and has gone too far left, out of bounds.
You can get away with that early off the tee, but the farther the disc travels, the tighter the OB actually gets. Like this one might have a chance to stay in.
Now, these guys, there is a huge right to left. This is a cross tailwind.
Yeah.
The wind conditions have not only switched between rounds, they've actually switched from the beginning of the day. I was on the first group and we had a headwind on this hole. Completely different condition.
Oh.
Gannon does not go out of bounds, but that was a slip, it appears. And the slip produced a little bit extra long hold on the disc. He's going to have about 450 feet to the pin, if not more.
Another slip, it looks like, but he gets
the good variety.
I don't think you get away with it. That's just a dime down the middle. Opens up a nice little angle for the backhand too. Remember, he has the sidearm, but he doesn't typically go to that. This is another dangerous shot. He's going with the stall hyzer.
Wow. That is so ultra aggressive.
Needs to get down. Does.
And he's got a putt from C2. That's an inventive thing. I mean, that's one of the things that... Who's looking up that high to find that shot?
You guys. Guys
No.
that can bomb.
No.
Boom sickles.
Well, I don't appreciate you saying you guys because I would never...
You're a bomber, dude.
I throw far, but I wouldn't look at that.
Well, maybe you should.
Ezra just left with a little robin spin to the approach, and he will have a tap-in birdie to get back to even.
Maybe you're having identity issues, and you need to realize you're a bomber, and you need to look up.
Only for the last 18 years on tour. And Zach will have a tap-in par.
So even though we're having 30, 40 mile an hour gusts, you gotta go low quickly on this stretch, which is kind of mind-blowing, but that's just what this place is. That's a tough miss to the left there. That's going to be a bogey. But, you got to go low quick because when we do a check-in, you're going to see what the rest of the field's doing.
I mean, you're going to see a lot of people who are going to get in the first 2, first 3, first 4. By the time we get to hole 9, there's going to be some scores close to that 9 under mark. I remember playing with Paul Oman a few years ago. He just birdied the first 8 holes on my card, and I was just thinking to myself, like, you can't slip up at this course. No. And it's just, you don't get the opportunity to. The field's too good. And this course just has that built into its DNA. It's one of the courses that you're not going to be it's not physically demanding as much as it is mentally demanding. After we play this last hole here, 3 in the open, quote unquote open, we're going to go into the woods, and basically the next 9 holes are going to be technical golf. A lot of shots that we expect to make, but when you don't make, you get punished adequately. So.
Yeah, and these holes to start off, they're kind of nice because it filters you towards the basket if you throw the correct shot. It's not like a lot of unlucky stuff that can happen. Like right here, low, driven, it's going to hit the hillside.
Like it.
And that's
going to slow it down enough. No.
I mean, but you see how it kind of pushes towards the bucket right there? Like everything wants to finish with the back end, even this sidearm approach.
And there's a couple different routes here. Looks like Zach's going down that straight line.
I don't like that one for this win, but could get away with it.
He'll have a putt, but yeah, not the one you want. It's going to be 45 feet uphill.
And that's just a decision error, I think. If you just go one click over to that gap, that one feeds right to the bucket.
I agree. Really overstable disc here from Gannon. Is it going to climb the hill? Oh my goodness, it does. And it rips up the hill as well.
I think that's the play. Anheuser, overstable, but the thing you can't do is hit on that top surface because it's so hard packed. It's basically like hitting cement.
Luke goes a little lower, more line drive. This is also heading up the hill. Or is it? Kind of hits the ground and gets a nice check up. How aggressive does Zach want to attack the basket? Well, it was a conservative run, but he doesn't get the conservative result.
Oh, he almost sneaks a little floater in there.
Cannon's got to be getting antsy at this point.
Straight headwind right here. Onto the high rise.
This is a scary putt. And after the 3-putt on hole 1, Ezra's got to be a little bit concerned about the comebacker coming up on 3.
After the short miss from Luke as well, this one's not a gimme. Yeah, I mean, just look at how fast that lifted within 2 feet of getting to the hole. Guarantee out of his hand, he's like, yep.
Yeah.
And then...
Not around where you're going to get into a physical comfort zone with your putter unless... Once you get into the woods, it is pretty well protected. But in these open holes, you've got to put yourself close. Otherwise, each one of these is going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, at this point, I think with the putter stroke, especially inside the circle, you makes and misses are the same thing. Go through your routine, release it where you want, and then let bygones be bygones because you got no control after it leaves your hand.
But I couldn't agree with you more. So we're going to walk away with 4 pars here on the 3rd hole.
Very surprising, but I could see how it could happen.
It's surprising that release right there ended up 50 feet up the hill to the left of the pin.
Right.
Pretty amazing. Paul Ulibarri, 3 through 3.
Hamas needs to get something going. And in Adam Hamas. Hole in 1. Incredible.
Fun little one here. 444, par 4. Got to get the disc moving left as soon as you get around this corner through those trees there. Anywhere left of this big tree, and you're liking your tee shot results. Usually a pretty stable to overstable mid-range for some. Forehand flex for other righties to try to get around the corner, get some extra distance. Got to be careful coming up to this green because it is a pretty steep slope on hard pan ground back down to the river.
Slight hyzer out the hand is what you're looking for. And that just depends on the ground play once it hits the left side.
Did he get around the corner? It's so hard to tell.
I don't know. I think it was early. It looked heavy and early.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But you can catch a nice little Annie off of that hillside.
Correct. Zach also heavy early, and that kick left spells doom. There is going to be very little wiggle room for him to save his par now. And that shot was pulled from Gannon. It was working its way back. I still think it was too wide right, even if it had missed that tree.
This is too straight, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be real tricky from there. It's possible, but he's going to need a really quality throw through an inside line. It's going to be a really tough shot for Luke coming up.
Stretch it out.
I think he's actually pretty fortunate that he's able to get out to the fairway with the lean out forehand. If he's a couple feet more in, I mean, you're looking at flick rollers or honestly just a sideways pitch out.
Gannon's got green light go here.
Oh, yeah, he ended up in a great place. And
Good
to
little
get all the
tree,
way up
yeah.
there, when you're in that position, Gannon has the opportunity to go with a flip up or go with the overstable sure thing, and the overstable sure thing is going to come up short. He chose to go with that one, which I think was the right move. Decision time. You got to run it still, right?
Oh, yeah.
Early tree for Luke. Kicks. Honestly, good break that it didn't go deep into the rough there. This hole is diabolical off the fairway.
Yeah, and Ezra had to have gotten a little help off of that left side, but you take it, and that's in the circle. Tricky little one here. Requires a lot of touch, and you got a couple things to beat. Yeah,
Well
good.
done.
There is the cliff to the right where you can just go right into the Brazos River.
Yep. You better be careful. They don't like it when you call it the Brazos.
What is it?
Brazos. I know it's spelled
Brazos?
like Brazos. Yeah, Brazos.
Okay.
It's imagine this is a U.S. instead of a O.S.
Oh, tricky little guy here.
Little Keebler elf putt for Gannon.
I don't think he had to do that.
Oh, he normally just goes to a knee in that situation. I'm surprised he didn't. Maybe there was some low ceiling stuff. to
Yeah,
deal
we
with.
can't see. Probably some stickers and stuff.
It's just funny to see him crouch over like that. Good birdie from Ezra. And a really good birdie for Gannon out of position. That's his first birdie of the round. And good scrambles for Zach and Luke. It's a really good par save for Zach. Out of position off the tee.
Yeah. Good putt.
Paul Ulibarri, 4 through 4. We got 3 players who haven't missed one yet. Sullivan Tipton, Nathan Queen as well.
All right, hole 5, par 3, 264 up the hill, right to left crosswind. Yeah, backhand, sidearm, doesn't matter what you throw as long as you hit this hill and slide up. Otherwise, you're typically going to end up a little deep. And windy up here just like anywhere else.
Yeah, there's a few things around the pin that you don't mind hitting either. I mean,
Yeah.
any of these trees up here are nice backstops. Main thing is just getting the height right off the tee and keeping it down the middle. Ooh, leaking left for Ezra, but it might get a good counter skip, and it does.
You're normally going to see mid-range fast putter, something like that, because the ceiling is actually quite low. You can't really see it.
It doesn't
with
look
the
like
camera.
it should be, but it really
Yeah.
is.
Well, you can get it going high, but you're having to beat so many little Twizzlers.
And they're like inconsistent. It's not like there's like a row of them. They're just kind of here and there all the way up. Good shot for Gannon. Zach going to show the forehand line. Also a bit wide, but scoots to the top of the hill and in the bullseye now. Not wide at all, actually. Perfect.
Nice follow through. A lot of balance in that shot right there.
And he's got a lot of balance in backhand and forehand. It's going to be interesting to watch him on those last few holes that are eagle opportunity presents itself. 13, 15, 16.
It's a little low on the hill. It's going to be tough to climb it. You want mid-hill. Anything below that, it's
Yep.
steep, so it takes all the juice off.
The putt hasn't been falling for Luke yet. This would be a nice one to kind of get things going. And once again, off the top, just not quite locked in on the green. And unlike those first 3 holes where the wind is a big time factor on the green, this is really when you need to make sure you start making all your putts.
Yeah. Yeah, once you get past, I don't know, what is it? 9, putting doesn't get any easier. I feel like these are like the putting holes, you know, like they're flat, everything else gets
What do you
windy.
mean by past 9?
Well, 9's kind of flat and
You mean the
buried
hole?
in the woods.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm saying there's not a lot of action going on here.
I got you.
Pretty flat.
Jeez Louise, the hot start continues. Mr. Ulibarri, Mr. Queen. Got the Carolina battle going on at the top right now, which makes sense. Very similar to North Carolina style play here in the woods at Waco. Hole 6, blind par 3, 267, short technical, just down the hill, forehand for most of the right-hand players, or a backhand turnover. I'm sure that's what we'll see from Ezra. Elevated basket this year.
Pretty guarded in this bowl. Just hit that tight gap. Sneak down to the bottom.
Pretty nice looking shot here. Hits the base and bounce backwards like Disc Golf Valley. What a shot. Don't. Have you ever seen one do that before?
No. No one would see it. The only reason we're seeing it is because it got filmed
Probably happens more than we think.
on this hole.
Gannon also looking pretty nice, just a little tiny bit early on the hyzer. He's going to be left with a downhill putt from about shallow C2.
Skip in there. Oh,
Same tree it looked like.
one, yeah.
One of those last two there. That's going to be a much trickier putt for Zach. And the corner tree, that's the one you're really trying to beat off the tee. Luke, just a little bit out of sync after that park job on hole 1.
I mean, let's think about it. Like this, the last hole, 2 feet of height, he's probably parked.
Yep.
This one, 1 inch more to the left,
Yeah.
he's probably parked. That's what these woods holes will do to you.
Just
And now he's got to make a 25-footer on the high rise with another kind of leaky shot. Difference between really good out here and really bad is very
It's
small.
small
very,
margins.
very small.
Gannon, let's call it 36, 38 feet, somewhere in there. Zips it left. And on the elevated basket, that means he's going to have a little bit more on the comebacker. And
It's a good putt.
yes. It's something you can leave the hole with for Luke.
Mm-hmm.
It is his 4th straight par, but it could have been a bogey. And he finished the hole with a nice putt. In today's Disc Golf Pro Tour, there are a lot of players similar to Zach Nash in that they have a lot of power, all the tools. It's just always a matter of whose week is it?
Yeah.
And it's sooner or later, it's going to be Zach Nash's week at one of these tournaments. He's too good of a player.
Yeah, good putter, bombs it both ways.
Uh-huh.
Angle control's nice.
Balance, athlete.
Athlete, yep.
And last time we played one of these Pro Tour events, this was the guy that was holding the trophy at the end.
Wonder why he just threw a putter down the tightest gap of all time and would have aced it if it was a normal size basket.
Well, after the bogey on 1, he has birdied a lot since. He is 3 under.
BlackInkDiscs.com is the premier disc golf store. Exclusive custom stamps on all your favorite discs. Our exclusive alien stamp is now available on your favorite Innova molds. Love what you throw? BlackInkDiscs.com. Shop with us now.
And the battle at the top continues. No pars for Ulibarri or Queen there. So 6 under apiece going into the 7th. It's a fun thing to watch on these hole breakdowns. Par 4, eagleable. There are 3, maybe even, there's 4 holes I think have a really legitimate eagle chance. This is the first of the 4.
A lot of people are just going to take mid-range, hyzer, through the gap.
Oh,
gee,
goodness.
that's too far. That's going to be a tricky little upshot.
I think almost forehand mandatory.
Mhm.
They did clear some stuff up on the left side at the opening of this gap. Oh, inside overturn for Gannon. Actually, really good kick. If you kick right, your chances of birdie are completely dead. But kicking left is a great break for Gannon.
Almost got it turned over. Kick right.
Still
Doable.
Yeah, close enough to the edge. That shouldn't be too much of a problem for Zach.
This just needs to hurry back, filter somehow.
There's some pitches through there. It's going to be dicey, though. And Gannon actually might be in the best place of all of them, throwing the worst tee shot. Best angle into the pin. And gets mostly through. Looks like maybe he got caught up a little bit.
Yeah, curious to see where he's going to be. He's going to have a lot of stuff in his way, I think.
And you can make a good case that Zach's actually in a much better position. Does not take advantage of it, though.
Oh, yeah, he's got something through there. This was never here.
Okay.
Deal.
Ezra's going to get to 4 under now. Starting to put together a pretty good round. Yeah, this is just total jail cell 1 year ago.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is worse, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Find some. Nope.
Just don't go down the hill.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes down the hill.
Oh, catch that.
Wow. What way to dig deep there and save the par. I was going to say, if Zach leaves here with a bogey, which fortunately he did not, he really would have just that second shot to blame for it. That was a pretty open shot, pretty standard operation for a player of his caliber. In the end, walks away with a par.
Yeah, good catch.
Yeah, it was. High left. And you called it. A lot of stuff to deal with there for Gannon.
Ezra going out of turn. Probably asked, though, you know?
He's a courteous guy. Easy to root for. Well, we had 8 eagles on the card, or on the field.
Number goes up every year.
Yep, it sure does, and it makes sense. This year, the opening is a lot more accessible. One of those players, Mr. Nathan Queen, who is now 8 under through the first 7. If you do not come out the gates firing, you are getting left behind at this event. So you haven't missed a hole.
No.
And you're not in first place. Pretty incredible. Peyton Mansell, Evan Smith, Tyler Love, Jaden Rye, Paul Kranz, Nathan Queen, Linus Carlson, Noah Meinsma with the Eagle 2s.
Go from a really gettable par 4 to a really gettable par 3 that plays like 700 feet for some people. 213.
What? Excuse me? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, because those trees, you hit them and it's like you only get 50 feet off the tee, you know? I don't know. I wasn't expecting to get called out from the comment. Honestly, it surprised me. Look at how far you think it plays for this guy.
600-700 feet, something like that, probably.
Feels like? Is that what I should have said?
At this point. Gannon with a nice little half check forehand. That is how you draw it up here on 8. An awkward distance. The shortest hole we play on the Disc Golf Pro Tour for the entire season. And it's just not a shot that you really get to do a full throw. It has to be these really touchy 3/4 throws with your slowest disc. It's an awkward speed for the style shot you're trying to throw. And Luke is in big time danger of taking a bogey. He's actually going to be first up. Wow.
What a putt. Bet you he's played plenty of 600 footers. Got a 3.
Good point.
Thanks. Sheesh. Get off my back.
Good point.
Bet he's got some 3s on some 600 footers. Jerm.
Ezra just can't even wait for the camera people to get into position. I take back what we were just talking about him being a courteous player. I'm on the fence at this point.
Maybe he was really far. Like 600 feet. This is great birdies from Gannon.
Yeah. A great save for Luke.
Yep.
Good birdies for the other. I think everyone can walk away happy. I know Luke's probably a little frustrated. This shot is definitely up his wheelhouse, or in his wheelhouse. Robinson with 5 consecutive birdies. And the birdie streak for Queen continues. Now 2 shots. Paul, you finally missed the hole.
I'm getting left in the dust at this point.
Goodness gracious. 9 down through 8. Can it continue here for Mr. Queen? One of the tougher pars on the course. Talk about 9.
Yeah, par 4, 519. Dog leg right. Initial shot, low. Driven, fairway. Sometimes a hyzer to late flip like sidearm. Mid-range, whatever you want to do. Whatever you hit the gap best with. Throw it as hard as you can down that tube. Commit. Otherwise, left and right is dead. Even with a perfect shot, sometimes you can't stop the disc. And so it goes too far through the fairway.
Yeah, that happens frustratingly often when you throw a really good line. It's like, okay, cool, I've beaten all the trees. And then you're like, oh, I don't have a shot.
Yeah.
So it does require good touch and accuracy. This looks like a little bit of both.
Well, yeah, but wait for it. Nope.
That's
breaks.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, but it's not perfect. It's not a perfect spot.
He'd love it for it to be 10 feet shorter.
Yeah, he flew the fairway and hit hard on that bank.
Zach Nash going the inside line, getting a gigantic skip. And looks like he's in the scramble territory. But Pennsylvania is not a bad state to go to when you play hole 9. Luke might be digging that spot. Little forehand check flex coming up for him. They're pretty aggressive here with the forehand.
Did he get a look, or?
I don't.
I think he might have caught
so.
that right side if I saw that correctly, which is fine.
If I were a caddy in that situation, I would have probably advised the disc down just to get around the corner, because there's no way you're going to get a birdie look from that particular spot. But it may have worked out for him. Zach's done well.
Yeah, he might even have an outside look at it. Sneak through now. Be nice.
Oh
yeah.
Wow. I missed the line, but got away with it. And here you can see why you'd like to be about 10 feet shorter. It's still very possible, but very tricky.
Another sidearm.
What else would you do from there?
Backhand, maybe.
Oh, there's the other way to do it. Uh-oh. One skinny one right in the middle, it appears. And Gannon. I don't know if that was a full run or if that was just a way to get to the pin. Oh, my goodness.
What a putt. To get birdie from that position is A1.
He left Pennsylvania. He's straight in Birdie Town, USA. That is incredible. From that position off the tee, you might not ever see another birdie from that position ever again on hole 9. Incredible.
What are you doing, Gannon? Just bend your leg. Cracks me up.
I'd lock my knees in if it just meant one more major or just any tournament win of any substantial value. I'll lock my knees for the rest of my standing career.
Mm-hmm. Could pass out, though.
I'll take that. Okay. Oh yeah, we're done. Hey, we're on camera again. Nathan Queen, he's finally got a par on 9. That just means he's just perfect for the front 9. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, just to take it to
Perfect.
look at the scores going all the way down the board. I mean, 5 under is in 10th place, but once you get to 4, let's see where it'll take a while. It's gonna take a while to get to 4.
Get your birdies, kids. If you're coming out here at Waco and this is going to be the tour event you play, come out of the gates hot. Oh yeah, Paul.
Oh, there we go.
4,
28th place at 4 under.
and that's pretty good shooting.
Really
Pretty good shooting,
yeah.
actually. Subscribe, please. I mean, we're going to ask you a lot. If you've subscribed already, just start another account and subscribe there too, and then like the video because it helps us and we like that. So we appreciate you guys. We're going to come back with 9 more holes in the front 9.
Hopefully we'll beat a 500,000 subs.
Let's get there soon, folks. Help us out. We'll see you in a bit.